Am I the asshole? For not feeding my husband because he caused me to have an allergic reaction. He technically didn't cause an allergic reaction, but he pushed me into it. I am allergic to a plant that lives in the state my husband and I have moved to. We aren't sure which plant yet, but are narrowing it down kinda. My doctor has told me not to do any yard work whatsoever because I have an allergic reaction every time. Full body rash and swollen joints for like a week. Wearing gloves and protective clothes has not helped. My husband knows all of this. Yesterday he mowed, and pressured me into helping him rake up grass and weeds. I didn't want to, and I mentioned that I could have an allergic reaction, but he said that he needed help and that I would be fine. Against my better judgment, I thought that if I just raked and didn't physically touch anything I would be fine. I didn't want to refuse him when he insisted. Today I have a rash all over and a lot of swelling and I feel like shit. I normally meal prep for the next week on Sundays. This morning I half-assed threw me some salads in Tupperware for next week and called it a day. I eat a lot of easy stuff that doesn't require cooking, so it's fine. My husband on the other hand eats like 15 pounds of meat a week as well as vegetables and sides. It usually takes me hours to cook his food and it's very draining. I told him he needs to cook his food for the next week, because I'm too tired and my skin feels awful. He got mad and said he'd just eat takeout since he wants to relax on his last day off. So now I have to freeze all the meat so it doesn't go to waste. He only cooks once or twice a year. He thinks it's not fair for me to not feed him since I agreed to rake and it isn't his fault I had an allergic reaction. I'm not trying to punish him, but I'm really suffering right now and I just don't have it in me. I also do think it wasn't fair for him to pressure me into doing something he knows I medically shouldn't do. Am I the asshole? For not feeding my husband? Edit: dang, you guys really hate my husband, haha. He's actually a pretty decent guy. I think this post just portrayed him in a bad light. He works 80 hours a week to support me while I go to school, and he still manages to do at least half of the cleaning. I talked to him and he said his back was just hurting and he was stressed out from work and he wasn't thinking. He apologized and brought me dinner while I lay on the couch. I'm not doing his meal prep this week because I really just can't, but we both came to terms with it. He'll feed himself and I'll try to manage my skin as best as I can. It looks awful and feels worse. He's not a lazy guy, he works hard to make things up in other areas, he just hates cooking. Which, to be fair, I hated yard work even before we moved to this shitty state where I'm allergic to everything. Am I the asshole? For not feeding my husband? Not the asshole, he is not little helpless boy to be fed. He can make his own food. It's your weekend too. Why he wants you to spend your last day off cooking for him? You need to move back to whatever, safe for you to actually exist outside, place you came from. Your husband and his pounds of meat can rot. He technically did cause you to have an allergic reaction. He pressured you into going outside and doing yard work when you have no damned idea what sets you off. But he knows something out there does, and he doesn't GAF. And now he is whining you won't cook for him. Oh. My. God. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and TBH I'd be questioning the relationship because it doesn't sound like he cares much about you and just expects you to do everything for him. Not the asshole, and you are entitled to not meal prep for him any damn time you want regardless of what else is going on. Please rethink this relationship. He insisted you put your health at risk and then blamed you for risking your health and convinced you it's your fault and he shouldn't have to take responsibility for the choices he pressured you into. This is a form of abuse and you're falling for it hook, line and sinker. People like him don't improve, they only get worse. Are you able to move out and away from him? Have you got family or friends you can stay with? Please, if you can, speak to your doctor at your next appointment and tell them how you are being treated at home. Not the asshole. Even if he hadn't caused an allergic reaction, which he did, he is a full-grown adult with the ability to cook for himself. If he doesn't know how to, he looks for a tutorial online and leaves you out of it. You are not his servant. Not the asshole, but you do realize how abusive your husband is. You're just a cook, and a bang made to him, because if he gave a damn about you, he would not have let you anywhere outside knowing you have an severe allergic reaction. Honestly, see the big red flag and run, girl. This is not a man that will but your well-being about his wants and needs. He cares more about himself than you. He is showing exactly how much he cares about you and his true colors. This subreddit makes me so happy that I'm single. Not the asshole. Your husband is abusive. Not the asshole. He put his own comfort over your health. That's not acceptable. Him being a baby about having to cook for himself is ridiculous. Not the asshole for not feeding your husband, who is a moron. He convinced you to help with the yard work knowing that you would have an allergic reaction. That is abusive. It is his fault you are having an allergic reaction. Let him fix his own damn meals. He should be splitting meal prep cooking with you equally. He is not a child. Let him whine, pout, he deserves it. Sorry, not sorry, but your husband is a jerk. Were you aware you signed up to be his maid? Not the asshole. Certainly not. You warned him that you would have an allergic reaction, but he didn't listen, and still wanted you to go there. Now let him deal with the kitchen, or by takeout during the week. Even though it is not punishment, he must deal with the consequences of the choices he makes. Or tell him that you will only cook if he is there to help with everything, just like you helped with the garden. After all, you also have to enjoy the rest day. Not the asshole. He got you hurt by pressuring you into doing something you knew was dangerous for you. And just because you are visibly harmed, he thinks you should still do everything. Not the asshole, and this is really concerning. Allergic reactions tend to get worse with each exposure. Your husband is putting his laziness above your health. Hire a landscaper if he really needs help. Not the asshole. You have a horrible husband based on this text. Not the asshole. Your husband sounds ungrateful and doesn't appear to care about your health though. He's the asshole. Not the asshole. Your doctor told you not to do that. He can make all of his own meals from now on, until he shows you, and your health, some respect. Not the asshole. You sound like a very lovely, kind and thoughtful person, but it doesn't sound like your husband cares about or respects you. Please find someone who deserves you. Not the asshole. It is his fault. He pushed and pushed. Cooking for himself is his responsibility. Not the asshole. You fed your husband and he didn't want to eat salad. He bullied you into doing housework despite medical harm. You have pain. He has food that he doesn't want to eat. Now he's gaslighting you because you fed him less than usual. But you still made a meal for him. He doesn't appreciate your everyday efforts. He's tricked you into guilt. A proper title for this situation. Am I the asshole? For making salad when I am sick and suffering from physical pain? Not the asshole. This is abusive. Your husband is acting like a jerk and causing you a lot of physical illness. He also can figure out cooking. His hands aren't broken. Find family or friends to stay with and talk to a divorce attorney. He does not care about you or your health. Not the asshole. He can cook his own damn food. Not the asshole. He pressured you into doing some yard work to save him maybe an hour or two of time, knowing it could very well hurt you. Then he expects you to spend hours of labor making him food while you're in pain. Does he care about anyone other than himself? It sounds like he is super selfish, cruel, and has no empathy for you. Not the asshole, but your husband doesn't care about your health. Do you not like yourself